Hey, hi guys. We are live again with another episode of BBB. We have a great person with us today. He is AR Gautam Nayak, and along with my co host Nandini, we will start the show for today. Over to you, Nandini.
Okay, Mr. Gautam Nayak, I have stalked you for 10 days. You're the only top research person on my Instagram. How cool that is. The sarcasm is on me itself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome to the podcast the architect of GGAEC, Gautam and Gitanjali Archexcel Consultancy. He is an artist, painter, poet, writer, public speaker, Batman, Superman, demigod, and whatnot. So, and his designs have appeared in Vogue and Trends magazines as well. So, now that we have such important person here, I'm gonna ask a very non-important question. Gotham, imagine if you could design a house for a fictional character. Who would it be and why?
See,
And what
the
kind of
fictional,
house would you like to design?
there was this magical house created by Draupadi and Pandavas
Hmm.
in Mahabharata
Hmm.
when they got to Hastinapur again.
Are you talking about Palace of Illusions?
Yeah, Palace of Illusions. Yes, Palace of
Uh,
Illusions. So,
hmm.
I am an architect, but my background,
Hmm.
you can say I've done masters in art direction because masters wasn't there at that time, and still it isn't
Hmm.
there in in art direction. But I have worked extensively with art director Nitin Desai, and then I have done my exhibition design and show designs, showbiz. So
Hmm.
I'm fascinated by these cinematic things and temporary architecture, and that gives you a very big gamut of exploring things, which are beyond practicality. So that subject takes me there, and I am a very big fan of mythology and history, and
Hmm.
the Palace of Illusion is something which will keep on pushing me to create something which is beyond my imagination, and that is the beauty of creation. When you get into any process, or when you get into uh, any path, and you know that there is an end to it, but you don't know what is going to be in the journey, like it's a serendipity, and so you start enjoying it more, you want to explore it more. And Palace of Illusions would be of that kind, because in the house itself I would be creating uh, many scenes or many aspects to that place, where the practical applications of material could get me to something which is dreamy. So that is what I would like to
Hmm.
do.
And that will be your dream, right? What you would want to do, correct? Or would you
Yes.
even think about it from us, like the audience perspective? What we
So
would love to
I
do? Like,
would, I would love, whenever you design anything, or an architect or an artist creates, it is not for himself. He indulges himself into it. He puts his soul into it, but it is for someone else. So this Palace of
the
Dreams,
public.
I would like to bring it alive for people.
Wow, nice. So the
Okay.
next question, I'll take it. Um, so when we speak about that aha moment, so what is that aha moment in your life? Like when you were a child, when we are forced that, oh, you have to become an engineer or a doctor. But what is that aha moment which came from inside, which made you say that, no, I want to become an architect?
See, when I was a child, my parents used to take me to long journeys and to explore spaces. And whenever I saw any historic place or any fort or any temple or anything that is something which fascinated me as a form, I felt that how could this happen? And there were two options in my life: either go in Air Force. I got cleared in NDA, but I could not get into Air Force because of the uh, bone problem that I have, and eyesight thing. So I would have gone into army, but then I thought that it would be less adventurous. So I The other option was getting into something which is practical and something which has a larger scope and which is art centric. So the only option that I felt at that time which was relevant and which my parents could accept as a profession was architecture. I had to struggle a lot to convince them, because at that time architects, they were of the opinion. I belong to Kolhapur, so my father was of the opinion that architects hardly earn anything. He was not convinced, but I practically fought with him, and I convinced him. And actually, it was against his wish, but I got into architecture.
Okay, but he will be happy right now because you have won so
He,
many
he,
awards internationally,
Oh,
nationally. So that's great. Over to you, Nandini.
no, I want to ask Gautam, is he happy now looking at you?
I'm very very content, you can say, with the choice of profession that I have taken in, because
Hmm.
I just thought architecture will limit. Architecture was, for me, architecture was something, a subject, or I could design buildings. That is what I thought. But when I got into architecture, the kind of school I did architecture from, it was a complete different way of looking at architecture. They made us a different personality which is completely soaked in art, all art forms. Means we just did not learn architecture. We got into acting, we got into painting, we got into public speaking. We There were many people of different fields, like actors and actors, then different professional who used to come to our college. There was Speak Make program that used to happen, so I have listened to Bhimsen Joshi live, representing my college in the National Speak Make convention. So that you can say those sanskars, the sanskars, I never imagined that it would take me to a very different level. Apart from being an architect, it would also accomplish my dream of, it would mold me as an artist. So I'm like, you know, so it's very fulfilling.
Nice.
Uh, Apart from being an architect, moreover, you are an entrepreneur as well. And design thinking somehow sits at the center of any business. But I think your business differs from any other kind of business because business, as usual, defines solution for the masses. While for every new project you are taking in, you have new customer and with someone with different personality and someone who wants something new. So, what is your approach for design thinking in this way? How do you go about it?
So the initial, the kind of people I worked with, I understood how to, the approach was very clear, how to approach any challenge when it comes to project. So first we start with understanding the client, getting
Hmm.
into his brains, or getting into his mind, because ultimately, even if you are designing something, it's contextual. And when I mean to say contextual, it means there are many factors, like what is the client's budget, what is in his mind, what is his dream space going to look like when he designs it, what is his comfort level. So
Hmm.
design thinking starts from there. But at the same time, I don't approve of the new age things that are happening. I know sometimes I feel I'm very lucky that I belong to a very different school of thought, where there was less exposure to mobile and less exposure to computer or Google, because we never started with searching references. We never started with Pinterest. We were very original in our thought process. Today, if anyone wants to design something, I don't know, when I see my staff or any other people who are coming in, new people, when I ask them to design anything, the first thing that they do is go into referencing.
And also
So
use AI. Nowadays, AI has come in big time, and you can do
AI,
anything you want.
I will go there afterwards. AI is something different. Like, see, being, you have to be compatible. Like earlier, when we started doing architecture, we had to draft with pencils. Then came rotring and ink pens. We had to draft physically. No, there was no scope of doing a mistake. Then AutoCAD came in, so we had to be a part of it. Then Now there are very advanced softwares, so we are compatible to those. Now AI has come in. uh, so these are all tools, as we evolve, these tools will always help us to grow. But in design thinking,
You
we should
should know
not depend on
designing. The hard work should be there. You should know designing properly. The hard work should be there.
we should not depend on tools. For example, I'll tell you, if I was in Gaza at the moment, and it was struck by a bomb, and then I was a civilian who is an architect, and I was called for a civil duty to construct anything, and there is no internet, or there is no.
How will AI help? Correct, correct.
How will I showcase the idea? I will have to just take a pen and pencil, and I have to start explaining people of how the building is going to look like, how the flow is going to be. Or if I have to do a temporary, for example, if there is a school, and if a hospital is broken down, and I have to get into that school and make a hospital out of it in emergency. So then you have to start thinking, what, I feel the technology should not disable you.
Correct.
Your mind should be strong enough where technology does not disable you. You should be able to create anything and anywhere in your mind, and you should be able to showcase it. Our teachers used to say the best language of architect is a graphical language. And how do you showcase? You have to speak less, and you have to show more in terms of your drawings, or in terms of your, we can draw very fast. I'm very much able to draw, sketch out anything instantly and showcase, like, this is how your interiors is going to be, here your sofa is going to be, this is how your sofa will have a pergola. If I'm building a hospital building, I can draw a pergola and say that light is going to come from here and the shadow is going to be cast like this. Now, on a computer or on a technology, first of all, I have to call that person in the office. Secondly, I have to work for 2 days on what I have to present. And thirdly, I have to be able to convince him. So if you are great in your mind, and if you can use your mind and hands perfectly, there is a perfect synchronization between your mind and hand, then it will flow. It's just like poetry, or it's just like writing a book, or it's just like drawing a picture with white paint. So, you know, I want all the youngsters or people who are aspiring architects, or who are going to do big in their life. I've reached age of 45, but when you become an architect, you start at the age of 24. So
Hmm.
practically 20 more years to be to showcase yourself, or to take the to the next level. But if you want to go to that level, you have to
Hmm.
of
Work hard.
tools, and you have to have a mastery on your mind and on your hand. That's it.
Do you think AI can help architecture somewhere?
See, practically, I use AI. I've started using AI, but not
Hmm.
in visualization. But we have to do a lot of things. Like, we have to practically write proposals, or we have to do presentations, PowerPoint presentations. Then we have to be very good at design in a right language. And
Hmm.
uh, so AI, not necessarily you should use it, but if you use Chat GPT, and if you put a small point into it, you just feed, uh, and then it gives you an answer. It's much elaborative. So it depends on you how you want to use it. But that people have taken enormous efforts. That's also designing thinking. It's convenient. So there is no harm in being convenient, but at the same time, you have to be original, and that's why people hire you. Now,
I
suppose
think
if
Yeah,
I get
I think AI just helps in making the productivity much faster. Like if you sit
yes,
and if you write something, it will take you like 4 days, which you can do it in like 10 minutes. Just putting the right
exactly,
prompt. Prompt engineering
exactly.
is important. So coming back to AI is there, you had mentioned it. Coming back to the design part, okay. So have you ever come across a situation where you have designed something for your client and you made up the entire house and or a villa or a bungalow, and then he says that, oh, I don't like it. So it might happen with other architects also. So how does one tackle that situation? because it happens in my field also. When we make ads and we present it, suddenly the client says, no, 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 this is what this is not what I had said yes to. But prior to that, there were a lot of scripts to presentations to everything, with sketches and look and feel, which was presented, and he or she did yes to it. So if a situation like that, have you ever come across in your career, or have you come across with it happening with any of your friends or colleagues like this? So how do one tackle that?
Usually, this does not happen in general case when you are dealing with a normal client. Now, there are, I mean to say, if I say normal client, it's a general individual client. So, the first thing the client does to, the first question that we ask our client is, what is that you are looking at? If he is not clear, then we try to showcase to him certain things that we have done in the past, or he's seen our projects and then he's come to us and he has liked certain things. Obviously, we that uh, it doesn't help. I don't like to repeat my designs in any ways. But when I go to a next level, like when you are doing, for example, I was doing this project currently at T1 airport, where I was the designer and art curator of Mumbai art exhibit. In that case, what happens is the key person, if the key person who is giving you that command, or he is telling you what is to be done, if you look at that Mumbai art exhibit, it's just 5 walls. But what is to be done on that 5 walls, it took us 6 months, and it took us a lot of research, and it took us different approach. Because what happened is, in this process, two people changed who were giving us instructions, who are at the higher authority. So when a new person comes, he always wants to implement his ideas. And when you are dealing with government authorities, or when you are dealing with
Which
corporate
will be
sector.
coming in. But if we may ask that, what is that unique thing that you did? So many people might have, rushed for the luggage and missed seeing that. So for them, I've seen it. It's very beautiful. So for them, what is that you are curated? If you can just tell us fast on it.
See, the whole idea started when I had put up my, there was a art lounge that was curated in one of the exhibitions, and MIL, it was near the airport. So MIL, Mumbai International Airport Limited authorities, they just walked in the exhibit and they saw it, and one of the persons knew me through acquaintance, and he's a college friend. So he said, Gautam, would you able to pull it off? I said, what is it? Then he showed me the space. And then we are a group of people. U.Art is the one who produced the entire thing. It means the ideation is mine, but the entire production or the logistics is handled by U.Art. And it's a philanthropy project done for public by U.Art. Now, what happened in that process is, when you're designing an exhibit, there are many options. They just came to me and they said that we have international airport done, and we have a lot of stuff that is there already, which is not displayed. And they showed us a warehouse, and he said, do you want to put it this? See, it's just assembling, that there's no design in it. I told them, no, I won't like to do it. I've traveled across the globe, and I've seen the best of international art galleries, and I feel that the street art that we usually see below the flyover or on the road, the artist is great, he must have done a great job, but it does not get that justice. But when it is a museum art, when it is rightly illuminated, when it is put in the form of frames, art gets a different reverence factor. So my first condition was, I would like to do a museum art. The second condition was, it would be extensive research. Mumbai art exhibit, if you say, Mumbai has a lot of extensive things, but we would not like to put all of them and confuse people. So we chose specific storytelling language, like we chose Mumbai. Now, how many people know that Mumbai is the only place in the world which has second highest collection of art deco buildings?
Oh wow!
I
I
didn't
thought it
know
was
that.
Calcutta. I
Uh,
was in Calcutta.
Mumbai. It's Mumbai. It's still retained. We have collection of art deco buildings, second largest in the world. Okay. Now, how many people know the population equivalent to population of Australia travels every day in our Mumbai locals? How many people know that the name Kali Pili is for a taxi is given by Mumbai, and there was always a sign written on that meter which said, "Do not touch,
Do
don't
not
touch
touch.
me, don't touch
Yeah,
me."
yeah. It's
best
still there
best
in some autos. UK, if you travel, it's still mentioned. Do not touch.
how many people know how best, what is the full form of best? It is
We
said
don't know
best.
What?
what's the full form. Kali Pili I knew, nah, but I don't know the full form of best. What's the full
It
form?
is Bombay Electrical and Bombay Electrical uh, State and Transport. It
So
has
why
it
What
has
are you
electricity and
saying?
transport.
he has come now, but earlier it used to run on petrol and
You
diesel,
know,
right?
you know, you know. And when it started, when Britishers did reclamation of Bombay, when Portuguese and
Hmm.
Britishers did the reclamation of Bombay from Seven Islands, and when the tram service had started, it's the first
Hmm.
electrical service that was started for trams, and that is when the electrical service
I will
responsible
argue on this. The
got
first
best.
electrical, no, I will argue on this. The first electrical tram service started in Calcutta. I am from Calcutta. It's still there. It's still there. This fact.
And
I
I
fight.
know,
You can fight later, guys, because Bangalore is the best.
I
no,
know.
no,
See, I don't
Bangalore.
want to.
Mumbai is the
Baba, best,
Mumbai is the
best word is the best. I agree, there is best, but Mumbai has best.
no,
You
Mumbai is
can't
the
take it
best.
away from Mumbai.
I agree with all my heart. Mumbai is the best. Sorry,
No,
man.
Mumbai is the best,
Let's
and
go to
Mumbai has
next
the best.
question.
Yeah, next
Let's
question.
move on to next question, guys. We have just 9 minutes left. Into what is the project
We have lost you, Nandini. Hi, Gautam. Nandini, you need to repeat the question. Yeah, repeat it.
Can
Hello.
you ask? Hello,
Yeah, we have
I
lost
did not
her.
get the question.
Yeah, Nandini, you're lagging again. Let her just come back.
So Leah, what I was trying to say here is the whole fun was creating this experience, bringing the best of Mumbai and putting it there on just four walls and showcasing
Okay,
it in the form of art.
art, superb. So, Nandini's back. Nandini, question.
Thank you, guys. My internet is just throwing tantrums right now. What is the project, Gotham, that you are most proud of, and why?
Every time you do any challenging project, you feel that it is the best for you and you become proud of it.
Hmm.
Practically, I
Hmm.
am proud of all the projects that I've done because I have always given best. I've given always given my best into it. uh,
Hmm.
Mumbai Art Exhibition, that it's a small thing. I've done a project with for Wadias of 2,500 acres of master planning. Practically gone and stayed in forest and understood all their zones and created that. So the scale is huge. Then I've done Shell Petrochemicals Bangalore ka research facility. Uska office
Hmm.
space I've done. Uh, the
Hmm.
scale is really huge, but I am proud of projects like Mumbai Art Exhibit because it's a lot of giving. It's giving back, and it's coming full circle. From being an architect, starting as a art director, and coming back and showcasing or designing something related to art. And it seems to be small in size, but there is a lot of research that has gone in, and it was well accepted. It was accepted to the level where MIL authorities, the highest level of MIL authorities, were present there to inaugurate one and every wall. And to my surprise, the architecture wall, they asked me to cut the ribbon of it. So that is the level of respect that I got for that project. So when
Hmm.
you get such respect, it is amazing. Then there's one more project that I did for. I was a key member in designing and in the execution of that. It was the centenary exhibition for uh, Tatas, and it was inaugurated by Ratan Tata sir and uh, Abdul Kalam sir. So that
Oh.
project was extremely challenging because it was a kind of museum, but we had to reassemble things every time, disassemble and reassemble things, and it was in a curves and very complex shapes, and it had to be executed in 16 different cities. So that was a very big challenge. Sometimes when I do something and I feel I've done the best of it, I don't want to do it again. So that was a project in that organization, which after that project I quit that organization because I said that nothing nothing better than this can happen in my life for apart from this. And for that organization also, it was a very big project, and I have received a handwritten letter of appreciation by Mr. Ratan Tata, our Ratan
Wow.
Tata sir. So, I mean, how many people in this world have this thing now?
Few,
uh,
very few. I mean, I
there
hope
is
we will do something big where we can also get more and more recognitions for sure.
I mean,
So I think,
architecture is a
yeah,
again.
architecture, like we have less time right now, Gautam. We just have three
Yeah,
minutes. So
yeah.
one thing I would like to say is that there's a beautiful sculpture which I can see right behind you, and we have very short time. Nandini, I think we should do a session two with him, because there are like a lot of
Yeah.
questions which we missed out on, which we will ask in our Insta live, which will be starting in the next 3 months. But Gautam, tell us something about you in terms of which you're really passionate about. Okay, nowadays, post your, I mean, when you're in your midlife, not, I won't say crisis, but midlife section kind of a thing. What is that one thing that you're passionate about before we end this session? But yeah, we promised to our viewers that we will come with Gautam Naik part two, where we will be speaking more about his things, because we are not done yet. We still have seven
See, there
questions.
there was a craving of becoming a successful art director, and the kind of films I got to do at that time, I did Swades, and I worked on Swades, and I worked on Jodha Akbar, sets of Jodha Akbar, but still I felt that there was it was less soulful, so I quit art direction, and I because it was very cosmetic, and now I want to do it again. But this time when I'm doing it, I have written a film of my own. Now I'm very passionate about it, and I want to see it going on the floors. Let's see when it happens. And that is one thing now. Now that I want to take it up in my journey, I have achieved a lot of stuff apart from architecture. And one thing more I want to explore is hardcore filmmaking. And for that, I have written the script, and the script is also registered with SWA. And
Wow.
so we are also doing a project together. You are quite aware of the series
Hopefully.
that we are writing, and so that is one thing now. And now, you always have to be thirsty. Now the thirst is for that, and that keeps me going.
And he's a lovely poet also, so for that, we don't have the time to for him to recite the poem, but we'll come with Gautam Knight part 2, and we will love to hear him out.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Gautam, for joining us here.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
live.
Yeah, thank you, Gautam. I think she's lagging again, and we'll see our viewers live on Insta in the next 5 minutes.
Thank you, Shohini and Nandini.
Thanks
Thank
to
you.
all the
Thank you.
viewers for joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.